We have done a lot of crazy things on Faces and Places. We've been to haunted houses, we've been to alpaca farms, we've been to dairy farms, we've been to candy stores. But this might be the craziest one we've done yet. I'm Mike Romai, and today on Faces and Places, we go ice fishing. We're on a lake here in West Sunbury in Butler County. I think it's Butler County. We're still in Butler County. I've been to places that I never knew imagined in Butler County. And Chookie Bennetti is with us. Chookie is a lifelong resident of Butler. He knows everything. Everybody knows Chookie, and he knows all about ice fishing. And he's invited us out here with his gang today to see what's going on as far as ice fishing is concerned. Chookie, welcome to Faces and Places.
Thank you very much.
It's good. We're glad that you invited us out here. But this is kind of crazy being out on the ice in the middle of winter.
I'll tell you what, see, like in the summertime when it's nice, this is packed. You can't get no room here. Here you have it all to yourself now.
But why? Why do people want to come out on a cold day like this when the ice, you say the ice is what, 6 inches thick here?
6-7 inches thick. You can't, it's almost impossible to go through. But look at it. The sun's out, it's so beautiful. A lot of people love to trade you places here.
That's for sure. But what is the allure? What is so special about ice fishing?
I don't know. It's like hunting, you know. It's in your blood. You want to do it. You fish all the time, and it's always crowded when you're fishing. Here you come here, it's not crowded. You can have so much room to walk around, and plus there's plenty of fish here, and you hope you'll catch some. Some days you do, and some days you don't. It's like buck hunting. Some days you get them, some days you don't.
But you're out in nature, and you're enjoying the time. This is Harbor Acres. Is that where we are today?
Harbor Acres, right?
Okay.
Correct.
And this is a private lake?
No, this is state-owned.
State-owned? Okay. All right. And they what do you say? They stocked the lake?
They stocked here a week ago Tuesday, put 1,400 brooks and other fish in here, and they just swimming around. If you'd have been here a week ago Tuesday, you probably would have seen guys catch anywhere from 20 to 40 fish. There was so many being caught. They're only allowed 3 now.
Okay.
But just fun to catch them, release them, you know, and just keep doing it every day.
There's a big difference in going ice fishing and going fishing in the spring or summer.
You dress accordingly, but another thing, Michael, the fish are delicious if you want to eat them through the ice-cold water. The summertime, their flesh is more softer, but here it's hard, it's very firm, delicious.
But you're going to cook it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it stays firm even when you cook it?
It's very firm.
Okay. All right. So the process that you go through, this is quite different, and we see a lot of your friends out here and your fellow fishermen. You've already drilled the holes in the ice. What does that take? How you've got to go through, you said 6 or 7 inches of ice. So how do you know where to start to drill? 2
of my brother's friends here was here last Sunday, and they fished in this area, and they really caught a lot of fish. We suggested maybe we should come back to the same spot again. And they knew last Sunday there was a good 5-6 inches. So that's why we decided just to entertain the same area one more time.
Okay. And in terms of then you're going to put the lines in the water in the holes that you've drilled. How far apart do you drill those holes?
Well, it's accordingly. If you look around here, you'll see where some are 4 or 5 feet apart, some are 10 feet apart. We just scatter them out to see if we can find them. And we have a fish finder there that kind of locates them for us, but that don't mean they're going to bite. You know, he says he's there, but he's tight-mouthed.
Tell us about how that fish finder works.
What they do is it'll show you, and it shows you little V's. The V's represent a fish. It will tell you how far out that fish is. It could be 30 feet, 50 feet. It'll tell you how deep it is. We know right here it's, roughly speaking, 5.5 foot. So we know out there 50 foot, there's still somewhere. They're not up on top. They're down there 4.5 to 5 foot near the bottom.
And when you're ice fishing, do you use a different kind of bait than you would when it's warmer weather?
Not really, but it's here. The fish they put in are really adapted to minnows. They love minnows, especially the brooks, you know, and the browns. They're just minnow eaters. And we was hoping they'd be more hungry today, but they could be.
Yeah, you have to be patient just as you do in the warmer weather, right?
Yes, we're patient. Besides, we have 2 guys that are doing the cooking. That's where it's great.
Yeah, tell us about that too, because you've got a group out here and you've got a couple of fires going over there for cooking purposes. I understand that you yourself are a top-notch cook, top-notch chef.
I don't know, but I have my own cookbook on the market, but my 2 buddies here as good as they come.
Okay.
You guys are going to eat the food, and you'll see.
What are we going to eat today? Fish?
It's surprise. No fish. So we're going to surprise you guys.
Oh, okay.
You're going to love it.
Because you're an outdoorsman. I've heard that you go hunting for turtle and you make turtle soup, that you make leech soup. Is that correct?
Leek soup is very
Leek soup.
delicious. Very delicious, I'll tell you what.
And you can find all that stuff around Butler County?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Chookie, what do these guys do all day? I mean, is they standing around here? How many hours will you put in trying to catch the fish? Or is the whole thing really about catching the fish, or is it just being out here?
Just being out here and cooking and eating and enjoying nature.
Okay.
Yeah, if you catch fish, that's a bonus.
Okay.
That's what we always say.
All right.
Yeah.
And there's a good number of people out here on the lake today.
Yes, there is, And they feel the same as we do. It's just, like I said, I know people who trade places.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been doing this, ice fishing?
Ever since I was a kid. I love it. I told my buddies there, they feel like I do. We'd probably ice fish rather than regular fish during the summer, even though we catch lots of fish in the summer. But here, this is it. Yeah. We think so.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look around and see what's going on here. It's kind of like a camp. They don't have those wooden sheds that you see often in the movies, but they're pretty well prepared here for it.
See, like over there, they have a tent. They have the tent sheds, and they stay in it, especially on the brutal days when it's cold and the wind blows. But like today, everybody here took off clothes because it's too warm.
Yeah. That's what Chookie says. Believe me, it's cold out here today. We're going to find out what they're catching here with the ice fishermen on Faces and Places. Well, the gang's all here, and we're all wrapped around these warm cooking utensils here and cooking devices. We were here with the cooks. We talked to Chook, and we saw some fishing done, but now they are all gathered around here where they're going to eat. Dutch and Denny are the cooks. This is like Rachel Ray here at Harbor Acres. Yeah, only prettier. That's right. And he's cooking up some wild stuff here today, and it's not fish that they're eating. Dutch, what's going on? What do you got cooking?
Well, we got some bear burger here.
That's bear burger?
Yeah, seasoned up, that Chook's recipe. This is Italian deer burger. These are some deer chops marinated, and these are some stuffed deer chops that I made last night just so I could heat up.
And is this all caught around these parts?
Yeah, it's all local deer.
Okay. And the bear?
The bear was given to us by Lindsay's taxidermy. We went out there on a pheasant hunt, and he does taxidermy, and he skinned a bear out, and nobody wanted it, so he gave it to us.
So the real reason for coming out ice fishing isn't really about the fishing, is it?
Catching fish is a bonus. It's about eating.
And is that why they have you over here on the grill?
Absolutely.
Okay, because you're the best cook?
I like to think so, anyhow.
Okay. And you said the deer marinated, and we tasted a little bit of that earlier. What is that exactly?
It's a black nugget marinade from Con Yeager's down there in Zelienople.
Okay.
And then I put some maple syrup in it just to give it a little coating.
Now, do these guys tell you what they want to eat before you come out here?
No. It's always a surprise.
Okay. And Danny, you got the other side over here. What do you got cooking? Oh, the shrimp.
Shrimp scampi, and then of course we have sauces to dip it in. And then my brother Dave does a lot of cooking also, and he's having, when you said Rachel Ray, for lunch we're having Rachel's black bean chili with corn muffin toppings. He'll be making that over there at the other stove pretty soon.
You guys better watch.
To eat.
Oh, I was going to say, you guys better watch out, because your wives get a look at this program, and they're going to say, well, you don't cook at home. What are you cooking? Shrimp and bear and all kind of other stuff out here.
Yeah, we cook. Like you say, there's no recipe that we can't do out here on the ice.
Did
you get a taste of this yet?
Is it ready to eat?
It's ready to eat.
Can I take a taste of it?
Yes, you may.
All right.
Just reach in there.
Just reach in and grab one.
And if you want the cocktail sauce, we also have another sauce over here that's called Screaming Hornets. It'll keep you. The Screaming Hornets will keep you warm all day.
Wow,
Here's
that's delicious.
Cocktail sauce and the,
Right out of is that just butter you got in there? Butter and garlic?
well, this here's a scampi recipe.
Okay.
That I make, and then you can put that over rice some days when we're out here. But today we're just having it as an hors d'oeuvre because Dave has the black bean chili with the corn muffin toppings later.
Now, be honest, would you ever have thought that guys wearing camouflage and fluorescent orange could cook this good? This is excellent stuff, then.
Yeah. Well, that's what we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Like you said, the camaraderie, the food, and the fish are a bonus.
Can't you do it any place where it's warmer, though?
You should have been out here on Sunday, -8 degrees. We were right here. We had Yeah, great food.
Yeah.
That's what we come for.
I see that.
And when we limit it out on fish on Sunday too. We might not do that today. It's just too nice.
Okay. All right. The sun's shining too well. What do you got here? I'm afraid of this one here.
With mushroom
This is a
stuffing.
deer chop with
Yeah.
mushrooms?
Yeah, you want to try that?
You're scaring me.
Ah, it's good. Delicious.
All right. Stuffed deer chop with mushrooms.
Yeah, it's a stuffing and I put some mushrooms in it.
Oh, man. That is good. That's good,
Napkin.
Dutch. Delicious. That just tastes like...
Tastes like you're getting a fancy restaurant.
Absolutely.
When you get it out here on the ice.
Absolutely. The stuffing is fantastic. Boy, you guys don't know what you're missing over here. You do this all the time when you come out here?
Yeah,
every day?
absolutely. That's why I got such a big sled. I need another one to tow behind it so I can bring all my stuff out here.
How many days a week do you come out here?
Well, when I'm not working, I like to come out about every day because ice fishing is only a limited season. You might get a month or 5 weeks to come out. So one day you don't come out, it's one day you don't get back.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to come out as much as you can, no matter how bad the weather is. Today happens to be an exceptionally good day.
Maybe we shouldn't broadcast this because it's going to reveal your secrets.
Well, if we get other people out here, we can open up a stand and start charging money for this stuff.
Especially this stuff here. It's excellent stuff. Let's find out more about these ice fishermen. There are a lot of secrets that we're going to uncover here today. So the secret in the ice fishing is getting the proper hole. And so the gang here couldn't do their ice fishing without Dave because Dave is the hole man. Dave is the guy who comes with the equipment to make the holes in the ice so that they can drop the rods and catch the fish. Dave, tell us a little bit about your equipment here.
Well, it's basically just a jiffy ice auger. It drills an 8-inch diameter hole in the ice. It's a whole lot faster than doing them by hand. Mm-hmm. And for those of us who are getting on in years, our shoulders aren't quite what they used to be. So when doing them by hand became a problem, we went for the power auger.
So if you had to do it by hand, what would you do? Picks?
Well, no, they make an auger, but you have to turn it by hand. It's just like drilling a hole with an old brace and bit.
Okay.
And if you have fairly thick ice, it takes a little while.
Okay.
So this is much faster and allows us to put a lot of holes in a very short period of time.
And the blade is specifically for the ice?
This is specifically for ice. Yeah, you can't dig post holes in your garden with it or anything. It's specifically for ice.
Have you ever broken the blade?
No. It's been a good piece of equipment.
How thick of ice have you gone through?
Well, we were up on Lake Erie about 3 years ago. They had 18 inches of ice, and I was a little concerned we weren't going to have enough of a shaft to get through, but we made it through. So we've gone through 18 inches of ice at least.
And how do you decide? You must have drilled about 8 holes here today. How do you decide where the holes go?
Well, when we come on the lake, we drill a few holes as we go, and we put the fish finder in, and we look around and see where the fish are at. Mm-hmm. So once we know where the fish are at, then we just start drilling holes. The fish finder will show you fish kind of in a fan pattern. So we kind of make the holes. If you look back this way, you'll see they kind of start here and they go out in a fan pattern. And I just basically put them, sometimes a guy will walk around with a shovel and he'll say, put one here, Dave, I put one there. I put them wherever they want them, or I just put them in a fan pattern based on where the fish finder says the fish are at.
Well, the fish finder says where the fish are at, and then you start drilling holes. Do the fish know you're drilling holes?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure in many cases they'll move out of the area temporarily, but if that's where they've been, they pretty much always come back.
All right.
So it's not been a problem.
It's not a Vegematic, but let's have Dave fire up his machine here, see how they drill holes. Okay.
Hope we got a commercial or something.
Yeah. So when you fish during the warm weather months, sometimes you can see the fish in the water. You know where to throw your line. But when there's ice over top of it and snow covering the ice, you can't see down into it. As we found out from Dave earlier, he digs the holes, uses his auger, gets down through the ice, 6-7 inches of ice here today. But you still don't see the fish. So how do you know that there's fish where you're fishing, Dave?
Well, we have a fish finder. It's a bottom line side finder, and it looks basically like this. It's just a shaft goes down at the bottom of that 2.5 foot shaft is a transducer. It sends a signal out kind of in a V pattern. If you can just imagine that this is the point of a V that goes out there. It'll send a signal out, and as soon as it bounces off a fish, it comes back and it'll show up on the screen here. Mm-hmm. So you can see right now, there's a kind of an image of the V. You can see there's fish anywhere from 15 feet all the way out to, it'll go out to 120 feet. And so we put that in the hole and just pan it around and look to see where the most fish are at. Okay. And that kind of, as I indicated earlier, dictates where you put the holes. And if you want to measure more precisely, we've even attached a tape to the front of this thing, right to the fish finder. So if, as an example, if it says that's 49 feet, if you're not real sure where 49 feet is out there, you just run this thing out to where 49 feet is at, drill your hole.
Where the fish is, okay.
Yeah, drill your hole. Okay. And it generally works pretty well.
So that's basically telling us that there's, what, 3 fish within 15 feet?
Well, there's that's actually a double there, so there's 4 or 5. Well, it'll tell you the closest one is 15 feet. These are further out. These here might be out 80, 90 feet, okay? So this the length of this whole thing is 120 feet. It'll tell you the distance to the closest one.
And Dave, just because
that one swims away, now you see there's one at 40 feet is the closest.
And just because you can see the fish on your monitor here doesn't mean that you're going to be able to catch them, right?
Nope, it just means that they're there. Doesn't necessarily tell you what kind of fish, doesn't tell you whether they're hungry, but at least you know there's fish in the area. The other good thing this does is it'll also tell you the depth of the water where the fish finder's at. So there's a number down here that says 4.3. That means the depth is 4.3 plus the 2 feet for the transducer. So we're roughly in 6.5 feet of water here. Okay. That's good to know when you're setting your devices out there.
All right, so all kind of tricks of the trade here with the ice fishermen. They've got all the equipment, enables them to not only have fun out here, which it seems like is the real purpose, is just to have fun and the camaraderie out here. But if they feel like catching some fish, they have all the equipment that enables them to do it and bring it back. You're allowed to catch what? You're allowed to bring in 3 fish?
3 a day, right.
3 a day. Now, you can catch as many as you want. You just have to release them.
Yeah, you have to release anything beyond 3.
Okay. So here we're learning the fine art of ice fishing. And Chookie, what do we got going on here?
This here's what you call a jigging rod. It's just a small rod. It could be anywhere from 14 inches, maybe to 20. But the idea is you sit there and you put a minnow on it or a bait and you jig with it like that. You try to entice the fish in there, into hitting that there. Okay. Once he hits it, now there's a fight on this little rod, especially if it's a big fish. Sometimes the fish is bigger than the rod. You just have a great time and it sings it out.
Okay.
Yeah, and a little fly reel on it. Just makes it
so
fun.
by bobbing it up and down, you're calling it jigging, and the fish sees the movement?
He sees it, and you hope to entice him over for a meal.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
And he'll end up being a meal.
All right, and so you go from jigging, and you're speaking about meals, you should probably put some of the stuff those guys are cooking over there on the end of the line.
Super delicious.
What are we going to go to over here now?
Okay, this here is this is the one cook's jig here.
Okay.
It's actually, if you see down here, Mike, see the line in the water?
Yeah.
When the fish pulls down on that, this here, the end of this is hooked on that little tab right there. See it?
Okay.
When he pulls down, this thing's going to fly up, and he sets a hook to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it hooks it by itself.
Okay. Now, is this equipment expensive?
It can be.
No, I was going to say, because this is, it's got to be pretty hardy to be going into the water, into the ice.
True, it all depends where you buy it, especially on a clearance sale.
Okay.
Like towards end ice fishing, everything goes down half price.
Okay, and this contraption that you have the rod hooked up to, that's specialized equipment for ice fishing.
This is for ice fishing.
Okay, and then we move along to the next one, and this is all, we're walking across the ice here, and you guys have all these lines in the water, hoping to catch the fish, and you'll be able to see as the reel goes up and down, right, that you've got something on the end of the line.
Yeah, like here, Mike. See, as the little ribbon kind of indicates when it goes down. These rods are so sensitive; they'll go down, 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 down.
Okay.
They won't break. It's amazing what they do as far as strength.
Yeah.
And the big fish just seems like it can't get off them. You'd think they would,
Yeah. Now, does it take a long time to get these set up because you've got it kind of screwed into the ice?
Well, it's not in there. See here? Mike, we take this, lift it off. This here just flips over.
Okay.
There's 4 little tabs in there. You step down on them.
Okay.
Just drive it in the ice.
So there is an actual art to all this. It's not just something that's simple enough that you grab your rod and reel and come out here and dip it in the ice.
True, but there's a lot of luck goes with it.
Yeah. But you've got to have the right equipment too.
Right.
I mean, you've got the fish finder out there.
You have the right cook.
Cook's the amazing thing for everything.
This is it.
Yeah. So, and you also have skimmers. I see you guys skimming the water, skimming some of the ice off at the
Right.
top.
Yes, we use the skimmers.
Okay.
You know, like we get ice on there, we just throw it off
Out
there.
there. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Like today's a nice warm day, so the sun's actually keeping it free of ice.
Okay.
Cold day, you're in there scooping quite a bit.
Yeah. What do you have to say to people who've never done ice fishing, who've never gone?
You missed it.
Yeah.
The thing is, people think ice, they think they're going to fall through. They think it's cold. You dress for it. Like today, are you actually cold, Mike?
No, I'm not.
No, see, that's what people have this in their fear in them. I'm going to go through the ice. Somebody's going to get hurt. It's
Yeah.
not that there at all. It's just if you come here and try it one time, you say, that's really nice.
Yeah.
That my buddy David, right there.
Yeah.
Never done this. This is probably his fifth trip out on the ice.
Okay.
He said it's super, just loves it.
It beats going during the summertime and the warm weather months.
Oh, yeah. And the crowd.
Yeah, and the crowds as
Right.
well. Yeah,
Right.
and you talk about, because people are concerned about falling onto the ice. When we talked about coming out here, people were saying, "Wow, you're going out on the ice. Are you sure it's safe?" When we're on a state property, and if you've known it long enough, or can you check with the wildlife people and find out about the ice conditions, how thick the ice is?
No, you actually learn yourself. You have to come out, and if somebody has to come out and drill a hole, see how thick it is. But see over here.
What's
See,
that noise behind us?
that's the ice. The sun's making an expansion.
What's that noise behind us as we talk about being on the
Okay,
ice?
come over this way here, Mike. Show you over here.
Yeah. All right, where are we going, Chuck?
Right over here, this bucket.
Okay.
Years ago, this is my bucket I sat on. See this rope around it?
Okay.
It's attached to the bucket. It's got a tab on it here. You pull the tab. If you needed to, somebody goes through the ice, pull the tab, take and throw the bucket to him, shut the lid, and pull him out.
Okay.
In the Fish Commission, we try to get them to make that law. Put that, like my buddies, they put it in their sled.
Okay.
But the ice, I use for what I sit on, because if something happens, I can react to a quick, flip that off and throw it in. Hopefully, we never had to do it. We never had to do it yet.
Yeah. We hope you don't have to do it today either.
Besides, you don't come yourself. You come with your friends. You come to those other people. And kind of everybody looks out for each other.
But I'd be worried they'd be too busy over there eating what Dutch is cooking and not worrying about me falling.
Well, you got to watch her. Dutch, he didn't get that little for nothing. Okay.
So here we are on the ice. It's at Harbor Acres, and we're with Mick and Dave, and what they're doing is ice fishing, obviously. But you got your line down in the water here, in the freezing water, and now it's just a matter of waiting, right?
Wait, maybe jig it a little bit, make it move.
How long have you been at this, Dave?
Oh, this is my ice fishing?
Yeah, ice
This
fishing.
is my fourth time.
Oh, fourth time, really?
Yeah, I'm just an amateur.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what attracted you to it? The food?
Chuck,
Chuck, okay.
he needed somebody to fish with.
Okay, all right. So prior to this year, basically, you've never been out before?
No, I never ice fished.
Okay. So what do you think about it now?
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's something to do. When you get older, you have to find something to do.
Okay. So coming out in the freezing cold.
No, I don't mind that. I don't get that cold.
All right. And how about you, Mick?
I enjoy it out here because I have a good time with the fellowship with the fellows out here, and good cooking and good times, I guess.
What? How long have you been ice fishing?
Oh, Dutch turned me on fishing probably about, I'd say, 6 years ago.
Okay.
I enjoy ice fishing.
Yeah. Do you get to catch a lot, or is it really not about catching the fish?
It's not about catching a fish, but I tried to.
Having any luck today?
I caught 2 so far today.
Okay. And you take them back with you?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. So you get 2, you're allowed to catch 3?
you're allowed to catch 3 a day.
How many hours are you guys going to be out here?
About 3 o'clock, I got to get home, get the kids off the bus, and get supper ready for everybody.
Okay. Are they going to have fish tonight?
Not tonight.
No fish tonight.
And do you cook the fish for your wife?
No.
Take her back some of the bear or anything
No,
like
I
that?
give them to a fellow that loves them. So.
Oh, okay.
So I get free ice cream in the summertime. Edward's Dairy.
Okay.
The soft cream.
So it's all about the camaraderie, basically.
that's all.
You guys are just out here having a good time.
Yeah, and bragging rights, who catches the most and fish and biggest ones and everything else like
I
that.
had a honey hole last week.
A honey hole?
Yeah, over there.
Explain that to me.
A honey hole is where you just keep constant fish after fish after fish.
Oh, okay.
I put a price on it. It was $400 hole. So when I left, there's a guy come up and Mick told the guy, he says, that's $400 hole. You got to have $400 a fisher. Well, the guy didn't believe him. So he got in there and he caught his limit in 15 minutes and left. Didn't pay the $400.
No, he didn't. Send him the bill.
So it's one of the many things that you find to do in Butler County. Ice fishing, just one of them, one that I didn't know of, and perhaps you didn't as well. But when you see these guys out here today, Chookie and all his friends, you realize that Butler County is just so abundant with many things to do, activities, even fishing on the ice. That's what we're doing here today, and I've learned a lot, not only about ice fishing, but about eating some of the wild game that these guys have caught over the years. It's been a blast, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I'm Mike Romai. Until next time, thanks for watching Faces and Places.